So we find out in this week's episode that the Grey King Tenkai Iwafun, or as he was known back then, Seigo Ootori, lost his entire clan in the Kagutsu explosion when they was trying to prevent the deaths of Genji Kagutsu, which was the cause of this explosion that took the life of over 7,000 people. 700,000 people. And yes, that is a pretty big number. And as I recall, it's the biggest disaster in the K world. But this also is the reason why the Grey King changed his name to Tenkoi, and why he is helping Nagara, because as he is saying in this episode, when he is fighting the Blue King, the Silver King, and the Red King, while using his powers, which is actually the only reason why he could stand up against them, because we found out that his power is that he can basically enhance his strength, which he uses to push away the boulder that has fallen on Nagara in the past, in the Kagutsu incident where Nagara lost his heart, which was basically because of a rock that has basically placed itself at his heart and has basically like created a crater there. And if it wasn't because of what she called the Tenkoi, he would have died from this, because I don't think the what is it called, even the sword of the Mucklers could have saved him from that that pressure that stone must have caused, because that is actually what saved him, as we found out in the previous episode. Because only if his green power runs out, he dies, and that's why, yeah, I've already explained that. But yeah, so we know that he can enhance his strength. But what else? What other powers does he have? His fog that we saw in the previous episode is known as the ultimate defense, and they seem to be able to deflect bullets. I'm not entirely sure, or at least the attacks from the Blue King, which he actually defeats in this week's episode, because he combines his fog with his bullets, which caused him to basically break the sword of the Blue King, which is really insane. So yeah, his fog is ultimate defense, and his gun, yeah, oh man, he's pretty powerful. And actually, from what we learn, is that the Grey King, he was really respected by not only the other clans, because he was right and virtuous, but also by normal civilians. And his clan, they were second only to the Golden Clan. So yeah, and according to what they said, his strength was on the level of Genji and Jin. And remember that Genji, he caused that explosion that killed 700,000 people. So imagine, if he was that strong, then imagine what the death of the Grey King would be like, that explosion, man. That may be in the millions or more, because he must be much stronger there now since. And then again, how come his sword hasn't been? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. But at least they managed to steal the slate. And the reason why they wanted to steal the slate, or why what you called again Tenkai, he helped Nagara steal the slate, was because everyone, including the kings, was basically being played by the slate. But Nagara, he want to play the slate because he want to give people power so they could defend themselves. Because if people had power back in the Kagutsu explosions, maybe some of them would have survived. No, maybe not everyone would have died. So yeah, it's a good one, but still, as the Blue King says, they will just kill each other when they get those powers. So I can understand both sides of the coin, but still, they managed to steal the slate, and now we have to get that slate back. However, it isn't easy because that fog, it also jams radio signals, so they can't, use the radar to locate the helicopter, which they used to basically steal the slate with. And also, one thing that was really interesting was that, let me see his name, Fushimo. He 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 defected from the Blues. He basically got into an argument with Raichi, their king, because Raichi, he was basically broken by the that his sword got broken by the Grey King, and considering how strong the Grey King must be to be praised by the Gold King, yeah, yeah, you you must imagine how strong he must be. So I don't blame him for losing to it, but still, he gets into an argument and leaves them. And then Siri, she calls to, oh man, the guy with this. I really need to remember that guy, the one with the cigarettes, the smoke guy. I'm pretty sure the name is somewhere here, but yeah, enough about that. But basically, he talks, and yeah, I can, and over that course of the, them talking, we can see that Siri, she is very anxious for if Fushimo he has a home or any place to sleep. So maybe Siri actually likes Fushimo, and also it seems that a lot of them, the Blues was actually basically relying on his personal information. And but I think the reason that he left wasn't because he basically got into the argument. It was basically to put up a front so the Blue would think that he betrayed them and didn't, because he didn't go back to the Red, which most likely wouldn't have welcomed him back. No, instead he joins the Green because as the Blue King he said to him, "You are so used to being a traitor." So he joins the Green, but I don't think he are gonna join them to help them. I think he's gonna join them to get intel, which he can feed to the Blues and use it to basically get something they can use to defeat the Grey King. Because the Grey King, I'm not sure anyone can defeat him, not even Shiro. Maybe the Gold King could, but yeah, he's sadly dead. So yeah. But when that is said and done, all I can do now is to wait for the next episode. And yeah, wish you all a good day, good night, wherever you are. And I will see you most likely tomorrow. Cheers, guys or girls.